We would like to be able to get to information on our page in our code. For example, if I said I swam the 100-yard race in, 55 seconds, I'd want to convert that time and get that 55 off the page so I can run my conversion on it and then write it out to my meter time. What happens when the browser reads your page? It actually builds a whole bunch of JavaScript objects for you that you can access. And that model that it builds is called the Document Object Model, or DOM for short. Now, you don't have to remember too much about the DOM because the browser does it all for you. All you need to remember is that you can grab things off the HTML page from that DOM because it's been built for you. The browser gives us a document object that we can use to find any element on the page. There are different ways to access elements from the page, and we're just going to look at get element by ID. Now, we set an ID on our header here of swim header. So we can use the get element by ID and pass in that we set named swim header in order to access that element. In this case, we want to change what's in between the two HTML tags, which is called inner HTML, and we're going to set it to broken swim time converter. Now, unfortunately, when you cut and paste from the slides, those quotation marks are fancy quotation marks with the curling around the string. So if you cut and paste from the slides, sometimes you have to correct those and turn them to just straight quotation marks. Okay? So here, when we have this program, you can see it went and it updated the title to broken swim time because we were able to access that element from the page using this DOM that was built. Just the simple length of this command sometimes makes it more confusing, not only just for students, but a lot of JavaScript programmers didn't like writing out that whole long string. They decided to create something called jQuery that allows you to use a shortcut to get to that document element. It's the same document element, but it puts a wrapper around it to allow you to use some different ways to access it that are shorter. We're going to use those this semester. So the jQuery provides that shortcut syntax, but in order to use that shortcut syntax, you have to include the jQuery library. To include the jQuery library, all you need to do is drop in this script tag. And this link is publicly available, and that pulls in the library that allows you to use jQuery. You can see I put that library up here on the top of my file, and I went ahead and put it in the header so that it will be loaded before any of my script tags try to be executed. So instead of doing the big long document.getElementById, all I need is a $sign. Now, jQuery uses codes to find the tags, and the code for an ID is pound. So we put a pound, and that can be followed by any ID we want to use. Now, instead of inner HTML, it's just HTML, and that takes a parameter instead of an assignment. So on the swim header object, we're going to call a function named HTML and pass in a new value to store in that swim header's HTML. And now we've accomplished the same thing, but with fewer keystrokes to convert our header swimming time converter to broken swim time converter.